Welcome to news. Now, as we have Treach finally speaks out about him and Tupac's encounter brawl, the notorious brawl that they had with the Rolling 60 Crips at the comedy club in LA. Tune in, y'all. Let's listen up to as Treach speaks. Welcome to news. Please subscribe.
Smooth B, he spoke about it on my platform before. Eddie Griffin, he was there that night. Tell me about the fight that you and Pac had at the comedy store in LA.
Yeah, in LA, yo. It was crazy. It was in California at the comedy store for Sunset, right next to the Sunset Hyatt. It was a comedy store. That was the biggest comedy spot out there. And what happened, we had ended up going to this spot, the comedy spot, listening to comedy, having fun, doing all this. It was like me, him, gang of other, like people we was with. And what happened, we came at, whether it was like every Wednesday or every Thursday, we came on the week after. The Thursday beforehand, like some of the biggest Crips in LA, the Rolling 60's, they had gotten into an altercation with some Bloods. And from what the story was, the Bloods got the best of them. I think they was like outnumbered or whatever. So, with the gang culture and mentality, they was like, we going back there next week to get some get back. So who had did that to them wasn't in there, but we was in there. So when the Rolling 60's came in, they came in, deep. And what they did, they came in first and they just started picking up chairs and bottles and all the rest of that. We heard a commotion in the back and it wasn't really too much of nothing because it could be fights anywhere, whatever. Before we got a chance to look back, bam, I got hit in the head with a chair. And bottles was thrown on stage because whoever was on stage bounced. They was out. It was a full. So when I turned around, that's when I walked around with the big chain and lock around for all homies locked down. So I took that shit off immediately. Pop and everybody that was with us picked up bottles and chairs. And it just was like an all-out brawl. You know what I mean? So we ended up fighting our way. We got up out of there. You know what I mean? We did what we had to do. But it was so, real. We had got green lit out there by the 60s. So that's a green light is on site. Nick is going to roll on you and handle business. It's like a hit. So I had to get up with my family that was out there. And that was Brother William Muhammad from number 54 Mosque in Compton. That was my homie, but he had this security and all the rest of that there. So Pop was out of town at the time. I was coming back. He was like, yo, hearing this shit out here in these streets, we need to meet up. So where you want to do it? You want to go somewhere? I'm like, man, where we? He's like, we need to meet up with him to dead this because I know homies over there and anything else. So we met up in Compton and sat down and was basically let it be known we ain't disrespect the gang. We just was doing what we had to do to get up out of there. So they took the green light off and everything else. And the rest is history. We still here. We ain't have to go through that.
Crazy, man. Yeah, that's wild, man. And you and Pac, y'all had another fight in San Francisco, right? Smooth B told me about that one.
Smooth. Listen, let me tell you something. In the day, and especially to all the new artists that's out, and even the ones that came after us 20 years ago, 30 years ago, we had to literally fight through cities just from being out of town. It wasn't just, gangs in LA and anything else. You go to Little Rock, Arkansas, you go, these the girls is all backstage and all the rest of it. Trying to come back to the hotel, Nick, that ain't a good look. You feel me? So we literally had to fight out of situations. Back then we was raw, we was young and dumb. We had straps, we had homies we known everywhere. So at any given time it could be on because you get tested. They these niggas hardcore rappers, all that. They ain't real like that. They ain't about it. They ain't nothing. So they test you. And our whole thing, we wasn't trying to be harder than nobody. Rakim said it best. It ain't where you from, it's where you at. You ain't going to take no whole town down Out of niggas that ain't fucking with you or want a piece, you doing what you got to do to get up out of there and get back home and not send home in a box. So we banged out, you know what I mean, when we had to. But it's a better situation now because a lot of artists learn how to roll and don't think like you from where you from. You in somebody else's town and you could be fooled if you be rude. You feel me?
That's real talk. And me looking at you more of a bigger guy. Pac, he was a small dude, right?
No, I'm small. Me and Pac was the same. We was like 160 pounds, 5'10", 5'11". I'm 5'10", 5'11". I'm 170 pounds. I'm just cut the fuck up. I ain't playing. You know what I mean? I got work with them things and up them paws is still right. But nah, I'm not no big dude. I just know how to handle mine.
Right. So Pac, he could get busy, yo, even though he was a small dude?
Yeah. We squabble. If somebody's coming with us with something, we pull out too. You know what I mean? But we from the school like, yo, let's get this fade. Let's get this fair one. And then anybody jump in and my homies jumping in. Like we come from the era where we rather fight, get it on. But nowadays it's like, I just say all the new rappers coming out, it ain't nothing punk about getting your security, getting your people right. And all that and roll correct, because nowadays ain't nobody fighting.
And there you have it. Please subscribe to News.